All
Oh my
right.
gosh. Yes.
Hey,
Guess
look,
who it is?
Freedom Fitters in the chat. He's in the Alabama Discord. So welcome.
Who is that? Oh,
He
that's me,
is
my friend. Freedom.
yes, he's a fellow member of the Alabama Discord that I
Okay.
sneakily talk about all the time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, we appreciate you being in nice and early. Thank you for joining. Thank you all who are in on the Bama Standard channel as well. This is it's a great day for us. I need to go ahead and say if you missed out on the Alabama preview versus Georgia, we dropped that a little bit earlier today. I can say that because it's going to be cut out on the other piece, right? Me actually saying this. Make sure you go back and watch the Georgia tape. Man, it's a good one. We got like 50 plays on there, right? So we're not going to spend a whole lot of time talking about the Georgia game today. We're going to be looking forward to the Vanderbilt game today. So as far as the lineup goes, I'll do my what's up, Craig? I'll do my run out. We'll have a little small talk about the highlight of our trips, right? JT's going to give us his one random thought today. Then we'll get to the Vandy offense, take a short break, then get to the Vandy defense, and we'll tell you all the things that you need to be aware of as we go into the game this Saturday. All right. Don't forget, go ahead and hit that subscribe button now. No matter which channel you're on, hit that thing. Follow Bama Standard. Follow Teague's Take. Hit the bell. Oh, but JT got a little bell sound on there. You doing something
I've
with
always
bell
had the
sound
bell
thing?
sound on there, but it's been muted. That's on me. That's my bad.
Okay. Well, that's enough of that small little talk. Let's go ahead and get this thing started right now. All right, welcome back one more time because we're so excited to have you guys here with us on this Wednesday night. It's October the 2nd, and we got a lot of good stuff to talk about. Again, don't forget if you did not see the Georgia review, please scroll down, go through there, find it. It's a pretty long one, but we talked a lot about offense and defense. It's the good, the bad, and the ugly on both sides of the ball. So most people are enjoying it. It's getting a lot of views. If you haven't seen it yet, find the time to go back and watch that. Okay. Um, we got a lot to talk about today, and I want to go ahead and get to my run out today. I won't be silly like I was last time and try to figure out what my point was, those type of things, because I actually got something that I want to talk about because um, today's run out is actually about being a sports coach and the challenges and how rewarding that it is when you got to have the unique blend of skills and dedication to be a coach. You got to balance teaching skills and develop teamwork and discipline. You got to face the pressures of performance, where outcomes can impact an athlete's future and even our own careers, right? So, additionally, coaches have to work long hours. It includes mornings, late evenings. JT can talk to you about that. You got to dedicate time to strategy, training, player development. You got to manage diverse personalities, navigate conflicts that can be troublesome because each athlete comes with their own motivations and backgrounds, and sometimes their parents do too. All right. So, lastly, the emotional toll can be significant. Coaches invest heavily in their teams. They experience the highs of victory and the lows of defeat, often feeling responsible for the athlete's success and failure. So, overall, the role of the coach demands a lot of resilience, adaptability, and passion for nurturing talent, making coaching a truly complex and demanding profession. So, we all need to give a coach a break from time to time. It isn't easy as you think a lot of times. Give the coaches a little respect. And that's my run out. Appreciate you for your time and listening to what I have to say. All right. So, JT, I don't know if you have any uh, particular, before I give you your proper introduction, how hard has it been for you? Have you had any? I'm not asking, let me make sure I say this so you don't say anything to any of your teammates or your parents or anything of this nature, but over all the years that you've been coaching, and you've been coaching a long time, how difficult or what set of skills do you think coach needs to have when you're dealing with high school coaches and the conflicts that come, having to deal with parents and sometimes the kids?
Now that I've been a coordinator, I think a lot of it is managing people um, at all levels. You got to manage adults on your staff, which sometimes is more difficult than you think it otherwise would be. And then you've got to manage teenagers, which is just as difficult as you think it would be. And I think it's probably no more. It probably doesn't get easier in college either, because now they're grown teenagers, right? They don't have to, because sometimes you can lean on the parents to kind of help you. Sometimes correct things and get things done. College you can't. Well, not always, but I guess not always in high school either. So you also have to be able to manage parents sometimes. Sometimes they're coming to you in maybe what would be justified anger and disappointment, and other times it's unfounded. It's armchair quarterbacking. It's things that you may, that you say as a fan on your car ride home, which is all fine and good, say whatever you want to. But then you take that and you say it to a coach, and things may get a little heated, right? And it's even more awkward because the son is on the team, right? So you have to then try to manage, like, okay, you don't want to punch the player for something that a parent did, and trying to separate those things is tough. And sometimes it comes directly from a player, and they don't understand where you're coming from, or they don't see that they live in a glass house and they shouldn't throw stones. And sometimes it's just they can't see the forest from the trees, and there's many different ways that you got to handle it. And I think that's always been the most difficult part. The X's and O's are not hard. The X's and O's are the same. This game's not that difficult. But managing the egos and the personality, and then right up there, I would say teaching, because coaching is teaching. Maybe I'm not teaching them math, even though I do try to teach them math. I at least try to teach them how to count to 3. But those different concepts and trying to get people to remember things. And one thing I tell my coaches going in, and this will be the last thing I say before we really get into the film, is to me, it's not enough to just hand a player a playbook and say, learn this. At least not in high school. Because as I tell my coaching staff, is they're already not reading their textbooks and they're already not doing their homework. So why do I feel like that just because I wrote a book and put it on some paper, that I should expect them to read that? Because my book is definitely not more important than the book that's in the building, and they're already choosing not to read that one.
Yep.
So we have to get creative, and how we teach it, and the time that we spend on it, and how we get them to remember those things. And I think we've talked about it before. The mark of a good coach is how well can you teach, I think, first and foremost, and then how well can you manage how well can you manage personalities and relationships.
People. That's right. That's right. And that I appreciate that, and that does actually, touch me a little bit as as your pops, and as someone that's, where we've worked together. We've been at, very high levels of play and down to whatever, and it just reminds me, you got to have the culture philosophy of what that is, and I think, you fit from That's why I like working with you as my kid.
My
Not
coaching
just
philosophy is 4 pages, just in case anybody. And maybe I'll do a talk on that and put it on the channel in the off season. But definitely talk to a lot of coaches, and you ask them what their philosophy is, and they tell you like what kind of offense or what kind of defense they run. And the first thing I say is that's not a coaching philosophy. That's what your scheme is. The philosophy is how do you make decisions? How do you go about trying to build your program and maintaining order and all those kind of things. And you should be able to take all of that and then boil it down to a sentence or 3.
Yep. And mine is in 3 because we got to have realistic expectations on what we're trying to do. And that's what I always try to preach. Character first, academics next, and then these sports after that. But, we could talk coaching all the way we want like that. But I appreciate what you're doing. Appreciate you doing at JP2 and everywhere you've been. And how you continue to, influence the youth through the game of football. Okay. JT, you didn't get my little cheat sheet, my little clock over here anywhere I can.
Oh, well, we said that we didn't stick to it anyway. So I figured we were just going to.
Okay. Well, let's get to this. There's something else fun. I thought that was good to be able to talk about, but let's talk about fan of the week. Last week, you kind of challenged some people to, get into the talk or chat on the actual YouTube page. So how did it turn out, and what do we need to know about the fan of the week?
Yeah, so we did have a winner. But before I do that, I want to show what those comments look like and how we can make this a bit better for us. And then I'll tell you what to do in order to enter yourself in here.
This is coaching 101, right? Is that what you're saying here? Are we coaching now?
Yeah, we're definitely we're gonna do some film. We're gonna do some film review on the comments. So I don't think Michael Kim's in here right now, but this is enough to be passable. But the problem that we have here is I'm asking for the point differential, which is a single number, much like. Let me get back to it because we just had a comment come in like this: Bama minus 55, and a score total. So these two, although I can figure it out, this is not exactly what we're looking for. What I'm actually looking for is a comment that looks more like this: point difference around 7, which you could just say plus 7, and then the total. Unfortunately, J Money Man 86, he was correct on the point total, or he was correct on the point difference, Alabama plus 7. But our winner is actually John Holcomb, because he was 2 points closer. I mean, it was real close. So John Holcomb, if you see this, I've already replied to your comment. You have the opportunity to pick a play for us to review. How you get into this is when this show is over, make sure you leave a comment. I will pin a comment to the top and reply to that comment with your point total and how much Bama is going to win by. It's Vandy. We're not going to lose. So how much is Bama going to win by and what the point total is? Closest will receive a reply from us, and you will get to pick a play from the previous game or the upcoming or the scout film that we will break down live on the show. All right.
Good stuff, brother. Good stuff, brother. All right. So now you guys got that. That's the first bit of coaching. Before we actually get to this film, right? I think people are actually really starting to like this little segment. So I didn't want to get rid of it. But it's I need to get a little jingle here for the one random thoughts for JT, or we're gonna have some little soft background music. Yeah.
I'll find something for you though. That's not a bad idea.
Okay. So here's where I'm going. I know we experience a lot of things as coaches. We're talking about this, a lot of stuff going on. People are always talking about coaches, but officials, but they're typically talking about the officials on the field. Are they throwing flags? Are they seeing and all this kind of stuff? But my question to you is, how hard is it to really run the score clock At a football game.
I don't know who's been running our clock, so at the risk of offending anybody, I don't think it should really be that difficult. Um, I understand there are more than one button that you have to hit to start and stop, but those guys in the stripes are quite literally telling you when to start the clock and when to stop the clock, when to run the play clock.
You mean this
Yeah,
and
you
this?
get one of these and you get one of these, and then uh, on the occasion you get one of these and you get one of these, and that's it. And you just
You know what threw everybody off though?
and you hit the button.
No, but everybody throw it off because you probably hadn't been up there and look at it. It's now the 40-second clock. I don't think they know when to actually start the 40-second clock. And when is it 25 versus 40? So not the actual score clock. I do think that's very simple. It's the 40-25.
Well,
Seems like where people get messed up.
I can sympathize with that, but then at the same time, it's like, look, if the refs can do all the things that they do on the field and keep the clock on the field, the game clock and the play clock on the field, on top of actually like reffing the game, it can't possibly be that difficult. It really can't.
Okay. I mean, I'm not disagreeing. It just seems like there's too many things that happen.
Yeah, I think
Not
part
just
of
in
it
high
is,
school and
I think
college too.
I think part of it is they get caught up watching the game instead of like doing the job.
Oh, they become fans and they start
Yeah,
coaching like everybody else in the bleachers. Like,
yeah,
why did he call that? He shouldn't have did something. And all of a sudden,
right.
your clock been running, and they're like, "Hey, you got to add 10 more
Yeah.
seconds to the clock."
Game operator, please reset the clock to 38 seconds.
Yes, because they have
It's
their
like,
chit
dude, why
chat.
did you run off 10 seconds? Well, he's clearly over here calling timeout. But okay, whatever.
But JT, I don't know if I've ever had you upstairs doing this stuff. Yeah, you've been upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
You know what they do though? They
Yeah,
eat,
I was gonna say they
they
sitting up there
drink,
eating chicken tenders
they
and
they doing all kind of stuff other than just running the clock.
listen to music, got another game on the screen on the phone, doing everything but running the clock.
All right. Okay. All right. So let's get to some stuff because we've been talking a little bit. Let's get down nitty gritty. And well, you showing
I know. I'm sorry.
man, that's okay. That gives you an opportunity to talk about Blackfriar and then presenting this film for us because we're so thankful for them. Your Bama home in Dallas. It's the Blackfriar Pub in Dallas. Man, you got to get down there. You got to come. You got to go see it. You got to eat. You got to get you some good drink. Go see Mike Kim. Tell him I sent you and ask for orange Teague. That's only if you like alcohol as well. If you don't, get you some other kind of tea. Okay. But this film is brought to you by them. So where we're going to start out at today, if JT is in agreement, we're going to go Vandy offense first.
Yes.
And while you got that, I need to give you a couple names, a couple people that need to look at. Okay, JT, before you go. So,
hold on. I do want to jump in. I want to kind of want to. I don't want to bury the lead here. So Justin had asked, "What's your biggest concern for this game?" And we got this comment. They should have beat Mizzou. This isn't your average Vandy team. I agree. But I think Mizzou is so overrated. Anyways, let's continue.
I agree. And so we try to be very fair and realistic and I don't know, what's the word? I say positive about stuff, but when you watch film, the one thing as a coach and when you're watching film and you always got to try to make sure your kids are ready to play or your team is ready to play. And sometimes you can watch the film and you know that you're just better than that team and you still got to motivate them. We're better than Vandy by a lot, right? Regardless. That doesn't mean that you can't lose to them. I think our coaching staff is better. I think our our talent is better. Okay, but there are some people that you got to be able to look at. So number three, so I'm looking up here, Quincy Skinner Jr. He's a wide receiver. He's pretty good. He's 6'2", 205. You know, matching him up against young corners could be somewhat an issue. He just talked about the quarterback, Diego Pavia. Uh, right? Yeah. He is a better passer than he is runner. When we get in this film, you kind of see how they use him, but I still think we'll cause problems from him. They got a couple linemen, JT. Their left tackle and their right guard are pretty good players. So I think we got to attack their left guard and their right tackle. I think we have a big day with Tim Smith and LT Overton. Then their running back is just kind of who he is. He's a sophomore. Okay. So that's it from their offensive standpoint. So let's go ahead and get into it. I don't know how many plays we got.
We have 9. Much fewer than the 31 that we did last night on offense.
Yes.
So we can take a little bit of time here if we need to. I chose this one because a little bit of shifting and eye candy, just like we do, right? So we're gonna have to get involved, or we're gonna have to get shifted correctly. However that is, maybe we won't shift, maybe we will. I don't know. Like I said, in the Georgia review of like, I'm not a guy. Sometimes there's teams where you have to kind of respect their shifts. I think Alabama's one of those teams. There's other teams that just motion just for the sake of motioning, just to like add distractions. And sometimes you can just be like, look, I really don't care that you're moving this dude around because it ain't actually changing what you're trying to do. I don't know that Vandy's one of those teams. We'll find out. But the point is they like to run their quarterback. And
it's going to be that good.
No, I don't think that this is.
Man,
I mean, even though he gets loose here,
I thought he was going to smack that safety, man. That's a good. I mean, we're watching Vandy. Vandy's in the white.
Well, we gotta see Mizzou too, so we might as well just go ahead and.
But that
was
a great shot for a safety to come drill the quarterback. Okay, so we were talking about it. I think they're
gonna. There's a lot of this. You're gonna see a lot of them trying to get outside, and get to the corner, and I don't think that's. I don't know that it's a good recipe, against Alabama's defense. I think we've got too much speed.
Yep.
Our DBs are pretty fast. They're pretty good at triggering on runs like this. If they are going to do this, Vandy's quarterback better be tough because he's going to get hit.
Yeah. So they listed saying that this is a pro spread offense, but they line up in this formation. Oh, this next four play.
Oh, this one here. Yeah, this pistol full house.
Yeah, this pistol full house where it's, you get option out of this. So it's still, are you going to be running your quarterback or are you going to pitch it? Because they actually do a lot of this.
A lot of option.
A lot of option. I don't know if I think we're too fast for them to try to do that. This is essentially the option here, and you're going to get your quarterback hit a lot. And you got the potential to put the ball on the ground when you start trying to pitch it backwards. So, you line up in this type of formation so you can go either direction. You try to stay balanced is essentially why you try to do that. We ran it at Shelton quite a bit with Ben Luke and those guys. I don't know if you remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Worked for us, but I'm not sure it's going to go. Then you see something like this. They pop straight into a.
Yep, and then there's a little bit of pressure, and he goes down. There's
Yes. So, I mean, you can see that.
And you get that pick play again, what we talked about with Kentucky doing this to Georgia, right? Just, he is not actually trying to get to the quarterback. He's just trying to knock this dude loose.
Yes.
and I'm glad I'm seeing this because, like I said, I gotta start stealing that
Oh,
kind of stuff
there
because
you go.
you do that, and then look, now he's there. There's the lane, and it's hard to switch. Hard to switch, and
Yeah.
he's still the one who makes the sack anyway. You know, he's not even trying to get there at first, and then he's
You fall right back into it. You're pick and roll, concept. Yeah, good catch on that. And I was really looking at the right tackle. I was saying that we need to exploit him with LT because it's. I mean, it's good, but he stops his feet. Once that happens, you're going to have too much power, and you start bending that corner, and it just, I said right tackle and left guard, who they just attacked.
Yeah, they just picked the left guard.
So JT, we've been pretty good with some of these things, by the way. Humbly speaking, of finding good talking points, right? Okay. What does this say?
If Vandy doesn't have the receivers that can separate, then Vandy will be in trouble because I don't think they have the front to match up.
They don't have the guy that can separate either.
Michael Kim says sorry for being late. Yes, you should be sorry because I've already roasted you. Not really, but
oh yeah, you did because you put him up on the screen first. What's up, Cuzzo?
Max Ritchie says, "Is Mizzou always single high?" The answer is I don't know. I was not particularly looking at Mizzou for this study.
Really watched that. No, we got a little bit of it, but not much. We were kind of really focused on the Vandy part. See this? Vandy had a lot of 2-back sets as well. Again, they had a lot of formations. We were talking about unbalances and all this kind of stuff. That it's almost like they don't have an identity, brother. The way I was kind of looking at it, but again, it's another option. I don't know. Maybe it works. You got to dive. The thing about it, though, when you're on defense, is you got to know who has a dive, who has a quarterback, and who has a pitch.
This just crossed my mind. Max Ritchie in the is Mizzou always single high? I don't know that they're always single high. However, if I were Kane Womack, I would be single high a lot, knowing that they're trying to do this option, and I could that way. What I can do is tell him to take the dive, and I have an extra safety out here for the quarterback, and I've got another DB out here for pitch man. It's all covered, and then I would just say, if you can throw the ball, do so. We've got Josh Zimlick with $4.99 super chat. Can you explain why almost every team has abandoned the goal line formation in imagining that should be short yardage situations? First, thank you for the super chat. Second, if we haven't pulled the clips, I will find them personally for you before we end here. Vandy may not actually be one of those teams. They had a very, very unbalanced set when they got down to the goal line.
Get like us, they steal it out of our playbook, I think. But you're right. I don't think that they necessarily get away from that. It does, from a defensive perspective. I think it brings so many people in the box that you got to be really good at the run game if you're gonna, go 2 tight ends or 3 tight ends, 2 backs. You better have some solid people in there because you're basically gonna have 9 people in the box.
And I'll add this. In the modern era of football, kind of started by Art Briles and history, and then even now going into Josh Heupel, who has really just abused the college football field, is the game has gotten to where offenses are trying to create more space.
Yep.
They're just trying to spread people out and attack areas of the field where you're not necessarily attack people. So it ebbs and flows, right? We used to be 3 yards in a cloud of dust, and then they started figuring, okay, well, if we just spread people out, you got all these big dudes in here. I've got athletic guys, so if we move them out of the way, I'm a little bit faster than you. I can get in. And the defense's job is to try to restrict space. So I think at this moment of football, the closer and tighter things get, the easier it is actually for the defense at this time. And as defenses start adapting more and more to playing out in space, you'll see like the 49ers going back in to where it's the offense is going to start putting in those big heavy guys and saying that you're not big enough anymore.
Yeah, because you're not working on it either, too. Okay. Great question, brother. Thank you. And thank you for the contribution. We do appreciate it, as always. All right. This same play, it's just the option?
Yeah.
All right. So it's a triple option, basically. All right. There's an unbalanced set that we were talking about. I thought this was kind of unique because the tight end actually blocks down. You got a puller, the wing.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird because this is
linebacker. Oh, good Lord!
And this is kind of a false read, right? I mean, actually, let's look at it here because you've got a guard pulling
circle.
You've got a guard pulling this way, right? And then I think we're going to get an insert.
Backer. Yeah, but the wing takes that Mike Backer, blows him up too, kills him. Good
right.
Lord.
So, I mean, it's you're getting belly front side. You get the quarterback turning this way, but the running back is actually going to bend it back. I wonder if this is designed or if he just kind of saw this, but if it's designed, that's pretty good. I don't think it is, though. I think as you were talking about, the left guard is just getting beat in here because,
yes.
They've got to play. I mean, we've got defenders here, but this would be a pretty good gain.
Yeah, he's seeing color. Yes, and you're right. I think we're just gonna. That left guard's gonna have a hard time.
Yeah. Also, linebackers. If there's anybody playing linebacker, this is why we stay tight to the edge. This is why we don't run upfield like this, because this ends up being your play to make, and you're up the field and you've given 4 yards of space here, and look at you.
And we talk about Mizzou's defense. That was not a very good tackle by the safety, the other safety that missed him. All right. Unbalanced. I put this on here. If you didn't see, you might want to see that from the back end. The quarterback and the running back shift over. Boom. And to the running back and to the quarterback. Fake pitch. Pass. When you outmatch, man, you start doing stuff like this. Talk about it all the time, right? So we just got to be on point.
Put something on tape that you got that your opponent has to spend time looking at, preparing for.
I still like ours better from last week when Milroe walked off. Ours are a little smoother, But anyway, there's another set again. What did we say we're calling this? This time they actually got a blocker. They sent the cross block to try to block the guy. So that was just a little different again.
Yeah.
You got it.
And this is really their favorite play. This speed option with the quarterback, or triple option, I guess.
Well, once our quarterback becomes a runner, we need to be putting some shoulder pads on him, because if he's holding the ball, we got it. I mean, you got to hit him. You don't want to be trying to target nobody. That's not what I'm saying. But if you want to run the ball, look at this one. JT was talking about goal line.
Yeah.
They're all condensed.
Yeah, and everybody's over here to the left. And this is kind of what I was talking about of like, you would think, you got all these bodies over here. or this is where the ball is going, and they're like, no, green grass, space.
So, and when you, we need to point this out because you talk about this when you have the unbalanced set. It's also what number is that guy wearing at the right tackle? This guy is eligible because that's a tight end or something.
Yeah.
And not a tackle. The tackle is over, so we call it tackle over. They move the right tackle over there somewhere to make the third. He's probably lined up at tight end spot. Yeah.
Right. So they've only got 3 eligible receivers, by the way. Well, I guess 4 if you count the back. But because of the numbers, those guys can actually go out for a pass, even though he is technically the right tackle. What I do like about what Missouri does is they knock the front, which is what I call, that's NOC, new offensive center. Because even though he's the one that's snapping the ball, the center of the line is actually right here. Right? So now you have, like, if you imagine this was the center, guard, tackle, center, and then we have the guard, tackle with tight end, and then 2 tight ends on this side. It helps you look symmetrical.
Yes.
However, you have to set the edge here, buddy, and you got to help. You can't just
I don't know.
You can't just do whatever this is.
I mean, guy coming out of back, fullback. That's too easy, man. But there it is. So, you'll see some of, again, how many formations have we seen that were awkward and weird, too? It's I don't know what their identity is. And maybe that's good. They're just saying, hey, you don't know what you're going to get.
Oh, I put this on here because although this is not a completion, this was kind of just this would have made more sense had we also did the Georgia film. But I was talking about how that last play for Georgia was a big boy throw, and you're throwing a fade from the opposite hash, which is kind of ridiculous. Same thing here. Like, this is not a high percentage throw. This is so far away. But it's not being thrown at the front of the end zone. It's being thrown at the back of the end zone. So at least it's like your guy gets it or nobody does. Not like the one that Carson Beck threw that was at the front of the end zone that allowed the defender to make a play on it. So this is better, but you can see because of how far the ball has to travel, the corner can just look at this the entire way.
I think that's a good cutoff, by the way, which we talk about on another film. Okay.
Right, and this is actually offensive pass interference, I believe.
Yeah. Not much going on there. Okay. That was a good choice, brother. Nice pick. How many more plays offense we got?
That was it. We can move on to defense now.
Well, before we do that, you got to take a 90-second break and run an ad or two so we can say thank you to those who support it. So sit tight. Give us 90 seconds. We'll be right back. George Teague, and I'm launching my own text-based coffee talk newsletter. My favorite part of this is that although you get to know me some,
I get to share more of myself with you through this newsletter. It's going to come straight to your phone, and I can't wait to share personal stories, the highs and lows of my football journey, my work journey, all the things I'm doing in the media, the passions that I have on and off the field. So I'm about inspiring, educating, empowering others through sports and beyond. Head over to joinsubtext.com/George Teague or go to today's show notes to join my newsletter today.
Excellent. Great stuff, brother. And thank you to both of you, both Blackfire and On Three for that. I enjoy doing the coffee talk newsletters. It's just a time for me to have a little short conversation with you over a small drink and to kind of give some insight on different things that I don't really talk about otherwise. It could be about media stuff. It just could be about personal stuff, just some thoughts, kind of like my run out in a sense. But I'm just picking random things over the course of the week. And it gives you the opportunity to also reach back out to me if you want to. You subscribe to the newsletter and you hear from me every Tuesday morning. And I give you some insights, just what's happening with me and having my own random thoughts. Okay. Blackfire, thank you so much for all that you do too. Um, and I don't know. I know you sent us a text a little early. I'll hit you back because I still got to figure out if I can get out there to Blackfire this Saturday for the game. One other person that JT probably needs to tell us about, Tide in Texas, because they
Yes.
support us in a very good way.
I didn't do a good job here because I'm supposed to have an ad read, and here it is. So, the mission of Tide in Texas, the North Texas chapter of the University of Alabama National Alumni Association, is to raise money for their nine endowed scholarships and promote the University of Alabama in North Texas. They accomplish the mission through various social, philanthropic, educational, and networking events throughout the year. One of these is their annual golf tournament, the Crimson Classic. This year's tournament will be held on Friday, October 11th, which I believe is next week, at Woodbridge Golf Club in Wiley, Texas. So to sign up or learn more about sponsorship opportunities, visit their Facebook page at Titan Texas or their website, www.titantexas.com.
That's right. And here's a hint for you. On October 11th, there will be a George Teague sighting at that golf tournament. So if you're in the area, get signed up, and I'd love to meet you out there. Okay. All right. So let's get to some defense and see what we want to talk about here. Thank you again, Blackfire, for being the provider of this film for us. Again, we can't. This is so fun and so good, man. You got data, JT. You got stuff all kind of. I mean, film looks good. You got flashing lights going all around the film. How do you do it, Mr. Producer? How do you do it?
Well, Titan Texas is responsible for helping us pay somebody else to do that.
All right. Well, let's get it. So let me give you a little bit about defense first. So my thoughts about this, right? So a couple key people to watch. In the secondary, there's this guy named DeRicky Wright. He's a free safety, number 19. They got this guy all over the field, JT. He plays free safety, but he covers the slot. He's in the box. It's kind of like how we were talking about. I forget the guy's name from Georgia last week, but they use him the exact same way with that. Okay, they do play field corner and boundary corner, so that field corner is pretty doggone good. The guy that they want to get out there and try to cover, Martell Height. Okay, he's number 25. Mike linebacker, Langston. He's good. I still think we can get after him a little bit. I think we're better than him, but he's pretty good there. And their defensive tackle is number 15, Zaylen Wood. Pretty doggone good. So, what do I think are the keys to this? I think we need to attack the other safety. Okay, CJ Taylor. Sorry, I don't know you're not supposed to be calling people name on this, but that's where I think we need to go if we're trying to figure out who we're going to match up on. Go at number 1. And then I think we need to run, JT, to our left. To our left. Okay. I think they're weaker on that side of the ball. So I anticipate that we're going to have a lot of success running the ball. I think Jam Miller and Haynes, they have great days running a great game running the football. Doesn't mean Milroe can't do it. I just think we're better than up front. And you'll see for some of these gaps that they're giving up. and maybe some of the unsoundness that they have that I think we'll be able to exploit that other teams haven't. Okay, there we go. That's my little piece.
All right, so this is Vandy's or Mizzou's second play here. So look, they're already in quads. So here we go. Ineligible receiver. Eligible receiver. Eligible receiver. Eligible receiver. We keep pointing this out because Bama likes to start out like this, and then they motion guys around, as we saw from the Georgia game. Mizzou didn't move. They lined up like this and then ran the ball. So that might be something that may be inspiring here for Alabama. Now, this wasn't it from Mizzou. Not very good up front from Mizzou, but this probably, since this is what we call EOP, elephants on parade, fast flow this way, I'm assuming this ball is probably supposed to be out here, not cutting back to an unblocked defensive end. That's probably not the move here.
That's true. Now, they have good size, Vandy, and all that kind of stuff, and you'll see some stuff. And what JT said is, I love it because he talked about how they lined up in it, but we always shift and move, and Missouri didn't. So makes it a whole lot easier from this standpoint. Now, I thought this was interesting, JT, because that press corner safety runs out of there and gets like playing two middle here.
Yeah, almost a three high safety.
It's
and different. It wouldn't have been that bad if one, I think this is probably an illegal shift or illegal motion. And then that's not a good ball.
No, but there's space. Yeah, I mean, you're talking about Missouri. You know, they didn't even take advantage of something like that. But there was space for him to throw anywhere because that receiver could have just stopped right there, not go back outside. But the running back is wide open. I mean, they're rushing 4.
And you'd have to think, though, Vandy is not going to blitz that often, right?
No.
I mean,
I don't think so.
That seems like the thing not to do.
Not with our dudes, huh? So, okay. I think I put this one in here really just because the amount of time that he had to throw. They're rushing 4, like you said, if not blitzing, and our linemen are just as good or better than these guys. And Vandy in the white again is sending 4 guys, and I mean, there's nothing going on.
Yeah, so this is
pressure.
I was looking at the time in the clip here. Ball is snapped at, we'll say, roughly 4.5 seconds of the clip. You get a play fake, you stand around, and then the ball is out. Now it's about 5 seconds.
Yeah,
that's an eternity.
And Milroe might take off because there's still a lot of space. You know, I think we're just in a better spot, and there was just no separation from the D line. I mean, there's single blocks. Look at the left. Look at the end. Again, it's just
their right end.
Yes,
where number 52 is just
he's
getting bounced right now.
I mean, only one guy gets up the field at all. So I don't know. I just think we're better than they are. Okay. Let's see what we get here. Trips into the boundary. Yeah. So they made a play on this again. Again, we try to be fair and show some good stuff.
Yeah, I was looking at this one because their right guard gets blown up here.
Big time. That defensive end or tackle is pretty good. He straight arms him. He's being physical. That's what I'm saying. We need to run. I think we need to run away from him.
To go.
We need to run.
That's what you're saying. We need to go left, not right, because that guy's pretty good.
Yep. He's really good. We don't want to go over there. It doesn't mean we can't. If we're trying to find matchups. Oh, okay. So this one, I wanted you to see and you probably need to circle JT and you see it. So the 3 technique on the right side, I'm going to assume he is responsible for the B gap, which is the gap right in front of him. But again, this is what I'm saying. We need to go left. If you watch what gap he ends up in, he gets reached before the ball even.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's way on the backside.
So he should be here
the tackle
because you get the reach, you seal him out, and then there's the crease.
And that's where he actually cuts the ball back. Whoop, right in there where he's supposed to be. That's why I think we're just going to have a big running day because that guy is not the answer. All right, more shifts. They're moving around. They're second again. This is a free blitzer.
Yeah, Pass Pro broke down on this one. However, this is kind of just even going back to last week. I think this is not the move. Georgia tried to do this for an entire half.
Where's the center going? I'm sorry, I'm watching Mizzou. They're not supposed to do that, but that's an easy pickup. Our guys will pick that up in a heartbeat. And then what I think JT saying, you don't want to be a one-on-one with our wide receiver out here.
Well, I'm just saying, like, Georgia was trying to do this exact thing for an entire half, and they were down 28 points after that. And then they decided to stop doing that and actually just drop 7 in coverage, and the game changed. So I'm just thinking, if I'm Vandy's defensive coordinator, my first thing is like, we're not going to come out blitzing because that was a recipe for disaster last week. Maybe we just need to get a little bit more creative, maybe simulate pressure, but we can't just vacate a spot in the field.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, well,
but we'll see what they do. Maybe they got something. Maybe they got something a little bit different.
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
Yep, and then we're not covering the back out of the backfield. Oh, this is
so
annoying.
So
I don't understand.
Annoying. And this, tell me you hadn't seen this motion and orbit. I don't know what we call this. Motion where you go in front, then come back around. Yo-yo motion. I don't know what we actually call it.
We call it a return orbit. Yo-yos for the Y.
Yeah. So he does that, and then the running back just sneaks out, and I mean, so what I saw here is just they're not sound. I'm sorry. I was trying not to be able to say that because they're college coaches, and maybe one day I want a job, and do something. They're just not. I don't know. It's almost like they're just kind of guessing. I mean, even if the linebacker goes where he's supposed to go, so let's take it back. The guy that ends up chasing him, I'm assuming that's his guy from the beginning, because he's lost right now with his eyes, and that guy's running. But even if he took him, the other guy's going to be open.
Then you got the tight end just sneaking out.
Way back, yes.
He's in a bind. He's wrong. Whichever one he picks, he's picking the wrong guy.
Yeah. So I just think when you're talking about Kalen Deboer now, and he's looking at this, I'm wondering what he's putting on his sheet. Like, man, what can I call? I mean, seems like he's going to be able to call a lot of stuff. Okay.
Yikes. Hold on.
I'll let you look at this, then I'm going to let you tell you why I actually picked this play.
Okay. Well, at first I wanted to see what the game situation is. There's 57 seconds left in the second. In the half. So I guess I get it. They're in empty. They're worried about getting bombed on. That's fine. They're just trying to keep everything in front of them. I won't criticize the coverage call here. I will criticize the tackling right here though.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you what I criticize when you go back to the wide piece because it has nothing to do with Vandy. Wide receiver at the top, JT on Mizzou.
Nothing.
What the hell is that? Everybody moving. What is he? He stuck or it just that can't be by design. 'Cause he
That's
didn't even-
the well, I was gonna say that's the I don't know what the play is, but you at least like move.
I mean, the other guy doesn't go anywhere either, but he moves. The receiver at the bottom. He at least turns like, throw me a bubble or something. But the other guy didn't at all. So anyway, yeah, I'm being petty. But still, when you're talking about who's playing Vandy, which will be us, I don't think we look like Mizzou at all. Okay, another clean pocket. Now, he doesn't catch the ball, but it still was just the thought of they're still got this middle safety or
Again,
two middle guy that's not playing. First of all, he's lined up 12 yards deep, I think, on the snap. He's 12 yards away from the wide receiver. So down distance is what?
2nd and 10, 43
Okay, so
seconds to go.
Can you guys see that? You guys know where we can tell what the down distance is? If you guys haven't figured that out, it's up there on the screen for you to see it if you really want to know what it is and what the situation, which is really good because when you're doing coaching points, you say, what was the down and distance? So it seems kind of weird for your deep safety to be lined up like that because I don't know, maybe there's a tendency that they don't run the ball in that down and distance. I don't know because that's essentially 5 in the box.
Yeah, and I'm not quite sure. Like, what do we? Why are we? You turn late.
You talking about Vandy in the middle backer, or
whoever this pole player is, because it's like you clearly have the vertical of number 3. You've got in between the hash, like you. So.
He'll turn and run.
Yeah, right. Because he ends up getting help, right? So.
Luckily,
it's kind of like
if he throws that
well that ends well, but like if this is Ryan Williams over here on this side,
yes,
safety can't just leave.
Dude's gonna be wide open for a bomb. That's right, because you run 3 verticals, and your middle safety. I don't know if that's a linebacker or what that is. Can't really see.
He's number 2. He's got all the swag of a DB as far as how he's dressed.
He is their star. Sophomore transfer. Okay, but yeah. Anyway, those are just things I think you exploit that Deboer sets up, like you said. You send Ryan Williams deep, and now you got this guy, whoever you want to put to line up against him. That could be a huge pass. Okay.
Yep, I like this just because of the stunt and twist. They're not picking up twist at all.
Our line is better. I think that's what you're trying to say. Our guys are going to pass this off at the top.
Yeah, they've been doing a good job with this, keeping their head up and being able to pass things off like this.
Still 4-man rush. So, okay. That same play?
Yeah, that's the same play. I was just looking at what the route combo where it was.
It's
slot fade up at the top.
Okay, so the one that I had on here is if you look at the secondary and the bottom, I just felt like I didn't know what these the safeties seem awfully close to each other, or your middle.
Oh,
both of them are in between the hash. Two is
these
still.
two.
Yeah, I don't know why you would. What reason there is to be that close together at any point during this play. Again, I know maybe I'm being negative and it just doesn't. It looks like 2 guys are going to the middle third. Makes it hard when you watch film because you're trying to figure out, are they really going to do this against us? Because you're like, surely we're not going to see this. All All right, a 3-man front.
Yeah, so this is same dude getting bum rushed. That's why I put this one on here. He just getting lit up off the line of scrimmage. Like, so I mean, he makes the tackle by putting the lineman in the quarterback's lap. So just move, homie.
Yeah.
And I don't know what 74 is doing. I don't understand. What is he complaining about? He put his hands in your chest and bench pressed you 5 yards back. What are you talking about?
Yeah, he holding. No, it ain't. You just know you're about to get talked about in the meeting room. Okay.
I think this is our last one here.
Another run play. I probably missed one where the guy got reached a couple times, and this might be it from the backside. I think the center, the nose tackle. So check him out.
He's getting reached. Yep.
He got reached. So when we talk about this, he's up, needs to be in one of the A gaps. He ends up in the backside B gap. I don't know if you guys
right.
know
So
what I'm talking
he
about.
should either be here or here. Some defenses will two gap this. Some defenses will lag, meaning if the running back goes this way, he wants to be in this gap so that he can take away cutback. You know, I don't know what their rules are, but I do know because they're in a tight front and that guy's in the B gap and this guy's in the B gap, that where he should not be at any point is in between these two guys or in between those two guys. And unfortunately, that is what happens.
Where he ends up.
Both of these dudes are getting reached.
Yes. Now you got a free runner up to the linebacker. I mean, one cut by our running back because we can overpower this other guy, and he's out the gate right now for us. Probably, you know, I think our running back is better than theirs. So I just thought that was just another way why I think that our running game is really going to dominate in this. I hadn't figured out how many rushing yards that we're going to have, but I think we're going to have a lot. A bunch.
Okay. Well, then maybe that'll be the fan of the week question then. Point spread in whose favor, and how many total rushing yards does Alabama have? And I will leave that in a comment. If you leave it in the chat, it will go away. It doesn't count. When this video is done, I will pin a comment to this video, reply there with your point spread, in whose favor, and the amount of rushing yards that Alabama will have.
You need to show them what it looks like, kind of, again, for Mike Kim who didn't see your example.
Yeah, well, since Mike Kim's in here, hold on. Let me go back in here. So Mike, this right here, I appreciate this from last week. But what we're looking for is this.
Million-yard rushing.
And a total. I need two numbers. That's what I was getting on you about. So now you're caught up. There you go.
Okay. Well, I don't know if we're going to have 1 million yards rushing, but we're going to have a lot. I do feel that way. And I don't know. I think Milroe just has another day. I think we can do what we want to on it. And I think defense has a very good day. I think the spread was at 30. No. Plus
23. 23 and a half last I looked.
Yeah, 23. I think we surpassed that. Have we had 50 points yet this year?
No.
I think we get a first 50 bugger.
Well, so what would you say? Are you saying plus 23 plus
Make the over. The over is 55.
Okay, so Jarvis says WKU, so I might be wrong. Yes, 63. Jarvis S has corrected me on that. Thank you. Trainwreck 70 says 27-point difference, 270 yards rushing. You need to leave that in the comment on the Teague Sake video. if this wins, this right here doesn't count. It needs to be in writing. Oh, and last thing, do not edit your comment.
Oh, you cheated. You just gave a way to figure out how to change it. Yeah.
No, that will be
everybody gonna be right.
This will be a disqualification this week. I took screenshots last week to make sure that those that were edited were edited way prior to the game, because some people had typos and they just went and fixed it. But I took screenshots of all those. I don't want to have to do that this week. So
yeah. What?
Good.
He already. Oh,
he said he already put it in the comment.
Okay, thank you, Trainwreck. We do appreciate it.
I haven't put my pin up there yet, but I'll let you slide on that one. But please reply to the pin so that they're all in the same place so I can find them. And also, if you think you won, check your replies after the game, probably Sunday. You're probably not going to get a notification, so check it out.
Yeah, you say Sunday, but you got a late game on Saturday. Let's see.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, well, I think that's about it, man. JT, I think, we need to say thank you again to Blackfire. Appreciate it. Michael Kim, we always appreciate you. Whitwell Sports, thank you, too, for the, Title Tower making things happen for us. So it's been another great episode this time. Bama wins by 1 million, and we have 1 million yards rushing. Y'all need to know, don't forget, this guy down here, I'll get my finger right with the camera. His name is James. I'm George. We are the hosts of Teague's Take, and we out.